Right now, Robert Charles is joining us from AMAC. Robert Charles, welcome back to the program, and how are you, sir?
I'm great. It's a great evening. Love it.
Well, thank you for taking the time to join us. Before we get started here, Robert, for anybody who doesn't know what AMAC is, give them a little background before we get started.
AMAC is the conservative alternative to AARP. It has been around for 17 years. I've been there almost since the beginning. It is the most inspired group of conservatives over the age of 50 you could ever want to be a part of. Tremendous economic benefits, but more importantly, a family of conservatives who are helping state by state and nationally to get our policies back on track.
Yeah, and our policies are things that President Trump has kind of been running on since he rolled down that escalator. What was it, about 9 years ago, 10 years ago at this point? Let me ask you this question, because let's face it, with all the stuff that we've seen with the Israel-Hamas deal in the Middle East, and now he's pushing Russia and Ukraine, and that he's also ended 7 other wars. Is President Trump becoming the next president of peace?
I think he really is. You know, my life history is 10 years as a Navy Intelligence Officer, and I was Assistant Secretary of State and worked in the Reagan White House. I've never seen anybody in my lifetime, except Ronald Reagan, who was so determined to change the face of the world in a positive way. And I would tell you that Donald Trump is becoming the president of peace. I think Ronald Reagan should have gotten a Nobel Prize for bringing down the Soviet Union. I think Theodore Roosevelt, in some ways, did what at the very beginning, what Trump is trying to do now, and he did win the Nobel Peace Prize. So I think President Trump is just doing miraculous things in the Middle East by pushing Iran back and allowing Israel to end Hamas. He's changed the whole face. It could be the most significant peace deal in 60, 70 years. And then on the other side of it, he's bringing Russia and Ukraine to the table. And gosh, I mean, here's a guy that on the one hand is an idealist, but is also exceedingly practical. He decides that he's going to go after it, and he goes after it and gets it.
Yeah. Exactly. And again, you look at the success that he's having, and people are talking about the differences between the first administration and this administration, where he seems to be not taking any prisoners this time around, right?
Very much true. I mean, look, there's a difference between ground school and learning how it all works on one hand, and then becoming the fighter pilot in the cockpit and making it all happen. This guy has learned. He is an incredibly fast learner. You know, people forget this guy went to Wharton. This guy is an extremely successful businessman. He is a very fast learner. And what he's figured out is how to stop the bureaucracy from tricking us, and how to stop our frankly, a lot of folks on foreign soil from stopping us, including those that try to get into the country. So, hats off to Donald Trump. This is a guy who is demonstrating operationally what leadership really means. You can read it in a book, or you can just see what Donald Trump does every day.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this. Am I correct to say that you're running for governor of Maine?
I am the leading candidate on the GOP side, up by double digits to become the next governor of Maine.
And that you are doing a very good campaign. Let me ask you this. Because it seems that you align pretty well with the president. How is your message when you're on the ground there talking to the people of Maine? And we know Maine's kind of a wacky state, but how are you being received, and what are some of the things that people are talking to you about?
It's hard to look away from the truth, and what Donald Trump represents is what really good policy looks like. So I am trying to stabilize this state. We had 10,000 overdoses. We have drug traffickers everywhere. Democrats have absolutely let public safety go to hell in a rocket ship. So I'm trying to get back to public safety. On the side of taxes, we are the #1 highest tax property taxes in the country, with very high income taxes. We are being taxed out of existence. We young people can't afford homes, and seniors like those I represent with AMAC cannot afford to stay in their homes. So that's a huge resonant message. Again, and the last one is education. We have become the 50th state out of 50 in education. So if you add that to public corruption, and Donald Trump has called out the current Democrat Governor Mills on her public corruption, frankly, corrupting Title IX on top of everything else, I think people in Maine are just ready for a change. And a lot of us are seniors. And honest to God, we're going to turn this state red.
Yeah, well, that's great to hear. And again, when you think about what's going on in Virginia, where you see the tide turn down there, hopefully for Winsome Sears and Jack Citarelli over in New Jersey, we're seeing a lot of red starting to show up around the country in some of these governor's races. I know Paul Nolan has a question for you real quick as well. Sure, Bobby. Paul.
Well, first things first, that guy's mustache is tougher than me. It can beat me in a fight. God bless you for your service. You're a real warrior, a patriot, and there's really no words I could use to describe the respect I have for you. Men like you are a dying breed, so thank you for that. I have been following the politics of Maine. I've been following the story about the Chinese gangs that are like using slave trades to grow a lot of cannabis, a lot of dope. And they're really getting away with murder, and the leftists have been running cover for them. I've also seen the Democrats are running out of money there. And what they're doing is they keep trying to raise more taxes to steal from the working man to keep their scams going. Can you elaborate on that?
Boy, you honestly just nailed it. That is exactly what's happening. They are allowing, so within 6 months of becoming the governor, I will bring down all the 300 Chinese grow houses. We will deport all the illegals. We have more than 8,000 illegals in this state. We will get them out of here. And secondly, we will get property taxes down by rolling back 300 or 400 mandates the Democrats put on in the last 7 years. And I'm going to eliminate the income tax, a little news blast there.
Nice.
And at the end of this, listen, this is all CPAs tell me it is all doable. Historically, I ran a $2 billion operation. I've managed a lot of complex stuff. This is actually not that complex. You know what they say, in an age of total mediocrity, it takes nothing to be great. And in this instance, Maine is in deep trouble. So what we just need is to stand up, do the right thing, and fix it.
Yeah, that's great. And again, you do have, Paul brings up the drug problem up there. According to this, you're the Assistant Secretary of State of the U.S. State Department's Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs. So you kind of have a background on how to take this stuff down, don't you?
I do. My group worked very hard to help take down the Cali cartel. We ran programs all over the world. I set up all the police training in Iraq and Afghanistan. General Petraeus set up the Army. I set up the police. And then actually we ran a 250 airframe armed. People don't know that the State Department has an armed air wing. We do.
Oh, wow.
And I ran that around the world. So, this is so much easier, honestly.
Wow, that's great. And again, not only is he running for governor of Maine, but he's also representing AMAC. Make sure you take advantage of the great deal on AMAC, amac.us/Studio6B, if you want to go and find out more about what AMAC can do for you, what they offer you. And follow Bobby Charles. He's running for governor of Maine. Give out your social media so people can follow up and see what you're up to.
Every single dollar counts. If you can go to bobbyformaine.com, just bobbyformaine.com, we literally are going to turn this state red. And whether you give $5, $250, you can give up to $2,000. Bottom line is we are going to turn this state red, and people are going to look around and say, wow. So that's how it's done. That's how you take a dark blue state and turn it dark red.
All right. Well, thank you, Bobby. And thank you for joining us tonight. That was great stuff, and we appreciate it. We're going to follow your race and wish you the best of luck.
Well, what a man's man. Thank you.
Good luck. You got it. Have a great night. And again, Robert Charles from AMAC.
That was an impressive guest.
Yeah, follow him. Go find his webpage, find his social media, and give him some support if you can in the state of Maine, as he's the leading Republican candidate for governor of Maine in the election that's coming up. So
and support AMAC for sure, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody like that on their roster.
We need guys like that. We just, because the truth of the matter is, we so many soy boys are ruined in so many states. To see an old school patriot guy like that with not just brass balls, but he's got wisdom. He's got,
experience,
an incredible amount of experience. The pedigree kicks. It's guys like that we need to run. That was fantastic. So
amazing.
Anybody in the chat who's poo-pooing a guy like this, you're the problem. You're not even real.
Right. And you're talking about a pretty big state up there in Maine, maybe not population-wise, but
it's bad up there.
And Paul, you said you've done some research.